Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's training. This is the basic MLS training. My name is Robert Rodriguez, and this is part of your Elite Master Series training. We will be having part 2, which is the advanced training next week on Tuesday at 10 a.m. We are happy that you joined us today. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, of course, you can always ask inside of the chat, or you can unmute yourself and you can ask questions. So we've broken down this MLS training into 2 parts. We're going to cover most of the basic features of the MLS today, and then most of the advanced features next week. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, we are logged into Matrix MLS, which is part of our services from the Miami Association of Realtors. So before we begin with the training, we are going to go ahead and go to the upper right corner. We're going to click on hello and your name, and we're going to click on settings. We want to make sure that your information is uploaded correctly. So let's click on my information, and here you're going to make sure that your info shows correctly. You want to make sure that your name is correct. You want to make sure that your email is correct and your phone number. Also, where it says title of employment, you guys are all realtors, so go ahead and write the word realtor. If you want to write realtor associate, that's fine. If you are a broker associate, you can put in broker associate. If you need to change your name, all right, that is legal. So by changing your last name with DVPR, then the MLS is able to change the last name. All right, you are not able to physically change your own last name. Just make note of that. Also, you're not able to physically change the office that you're with. So right now we are all with Elite Ocean View Realty. In the future, if you ever switch offices, the MLS is the only one that can change the office. All right. So right down here where it says website address, if you guys do have a website, you want to go ahead and place it in there. All right. And then you want to go ahead and click on save when you're finished. All right, 2 more steps I like to cover in this section. Go to the upper right corner right here where it says One Home. You want to click on One Home and make sure that you upload your photo for your branding. Remember, each time we share listings with our customers, they will be able to see your photo and your information. So come here and then click on Use Custom Photo, and you want to upload your photo. Lastly, you want to go to where it says email signature, and you want to create yourself a nice looking email signature that will be present on every email you send through the MLS system. You have all the tools available to you here. You have the hyperlinks, you have the ability to upload images, and control the font style, font colors, and font sizes down below. All right, once you're finished, you want to go ahead and click on save, and we can now move on to the next section. So let's go back up here to where it says My Matrix, and let's click on My Matrix to take us to the home page. On the upper right corner, once again, when you click on your name, if you ever need access to the help section of Matrix, there is a help section available for us. By clicking there, you will access the help section. All right, their phone number, all right, for support is Matrix Support, and then you click on support, and right here you do have a phone number where you can call the Miami MLS help desk, and you can also email them by writing to the email that is shown there. All right, let's go back to the home page. Now, when you hover over the word My Matrix, you do have here your contacts. You have auto emails. We'll discuss auto emails in the training. We have saved searches. We have sent emails. You have your CMAs. You also have your listings and your office listings. All right. And then lastly, we have carts. Next, we have search. Here we can search for RE1, which is single family homes, RE2, which is condos or townhomes. RIN is multifamily income properties. You also have residential land. You have residential rental. You have commercial land, business, agricultural, or industrial. We have commercial improved. These are commercial properties. and you have business brokerages. These are businesses that are for sale. There are other things you can search for, like an open house. You can also search for other agents and offices in the MLS. Right up here, we have stats, and we do cover that during a stats class that we have given in the past, and we will give again in the future. Next up, we have two tax programs. We have Realist, we have IMAP. They're both pretty much identical in the way that we use it. However, it's two different databases. This is where you go to look up public record, research properties, and run comp analysis. All right, then all the way to the right, there is an add edit button. That's where you go to add your listings. Also, where you go to add photos for your listings, and where you would go to add an open house for your listings. So add edit is the feature that you will click in order to upload listings. Lastly, we have more. Here we have market reports, which is also part of our stats class that allows you to run market reports inside the MLS. Of course, your homepage is arranged in whichever way you like. You can move things around. Let's take a look. If I click here where it says hot sheets and I want to move this to the right, I can. And I can arrange my homepage to look however you like it to look. All right. So let's go ahead and begin first with a simple search. If a customer calls you and they tell you, hey, I'm looking for a particular listing, and they give you the listing ID number, all you need to do is go to this search bar up here and you need to plug in that MLS listing ID number. And then you want to click on search to the right-hand side or click on the enter button, and that's going to give you that particular listing. We could always type the address of the property up here as well. All right, so it's not just the MLS number. You can type in there the address of the property and the listing will show up. A little tip that I have for you guys is that if the address ends, like in this one, it ends with a terrace, do not write the word terrace. Just write 11342 Southwest 70th, and you will find the listing. All right, that's a tip that we've had forever. People put in Terrace Avenue Street and they don't get the results.
Robert, quick question.
Yes.
I see a lot of MLS records that start with letter A, but some start with letter F. Do you know why?
Yes. So in South Florida, there are two real estate associations. There's the Miami Association, which all listings begin with the letter A. And there's the one of the Palm Beaches, which the letter begins with the letter F. So any member of the Miami Association of Realtors, when you list a property, that listing carries the letter A. Any members of the beaches, Palm Beaches, that letter is F.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and go to a search. We're going to begin with an RE1, RE2 search, guys. This is our search criteria page. And as you can see, I have only the active status checked. Now, here's a trick. Most of you, when you go to the search, you have coming soon and you have active with contracts, automatically defaulted. If you find yourself having to remove this every time you do a search, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and remove it. I want you to leave active and then go to the right-hand side, find that little wheel. It's like a little settings wheel. You want to click there and you want to click on set currently selected search criteria as my starting default. And now from now on, every time you click on RE1, RE2, all right, you only have active selected. But make sure that that's the only thing that you set as your default. You don't want to set anything else as your default because, of course, it's going to be automatically checked and you're going to wonder why that's happening. All right, so we have active listings, we have coming soon, active with contract, and the others. All right, so we're going to go ahead and search for active listings. Here we have single family home or condo, or you can hold down the command key or control key and select both if you like to look for both property types. Down underneath the type of property, you can actually select what type of property you're looking for. Let's say your client is looking for a single family home and a townhouse. So you want to go ahead and select single family home and townhouse. Again, holding down that command key or control key, you want to select multiple. If you only want to look for single family homes, then just go ahead and put in single, and that's going to only select single. Underneath that, you have waterfront, yes or no. You have swimming pool, yes or no. You have waterfront description, you have style, you have amenities. All right, in the center, we have a map search, which allows you to search by map. We also have a radius search, which allows you to search by a radius around a particular location. We're going to use these two features next week in our advanced training. Here you can enter up to 10 different addresses. So if you have a client that's looking for particular properties in a building or in multiple buildings, you can enter the multiple building addresses here. Do not enter the unit numbers. You want to see what's available in that building. All right, I wouldn't use this for single family homes because it's going to equal to that address that you enter there. So if you're looking for single family homes in any area, you do not use the address search. If you are looking for one particular address, then yes, you can use it. This is more for buildings when you're looking at condos. Here you can search by area, municipal code, zip codes. You can do multiple zip codes separated by a comma. So if I'm looking for properties in zip code 33154, all right, I am left now with 44 matches. But if I also want zip code 33141, I place a comma and I put in 33141. Now we're up to 111 matches. So you want to make sure that you do multiple zip codes separated with a comma. Same thing for city, guys. You can type in the name of the city, place a comma, and then type in the name of the other city, and you're able to search for multiple cities. Or you can choose from the drop-down menu here, and you can hold on the control key, and you can search multiple cities as well. All right. What I like about this system is that you can search for multiple cities in multiple counties. You don't have to stay in Dade County. You don't have to stay in Broward County. You can cross county. So if I wanted to go and search for Miami Beach, I select Miami Beach here. And then if I want to go ahead and select Hollywood, I go to H over here and I look for Hollywood. All right, let's take a look here. Hold down that control key, select Hollywood. Now we have Hollywood, Miami Beach. All right. In both cities, there are 577 matches. All right. If we remove Hollywood, right, we come over here, we delete, and we just write Miami Beach, then it's only going to be Miami Beach with 214 listings. Next up, you want to go to the upper right corner. You want to put in your price. Notice the zeros is checked to the right. That means it's already in thousands. So if you enter here 1,000, that equals to $1 million. There are 0 matches listed at exactly $1 million. But if you want to do 1 million or less, then you place a minus sign. And now there are 5 results. These are 5 listings at less than $1 million. All right, we're going to go back to criteria. And then if you want to do a range, for example, $1 to $2 million, it'll be like this: 1,000, and then place the minus sign, and then type in 2,000. That is a range between $1 and $2 million, and there are 22 matches. So let's leave it there. Of course, if you want to place a minimum, then it'll be a plus sign. So 1,000 plus. That'll be 1 million or more. For bedrooms, you're going to do the same thing. If your client says, I need a minimum of 3 bedrooms, then you're going to do 3 plus. If your client wants a range between 3 and 4, you're going to do 3-4. For bathrooms, we'll do the same thing, 2+. All right. If your client is looking for a property that has a garage, then I normally would do 1+. 1+ is at least one garage space. If they're looking for a 2-car garage, then you would do 2+. If your client says, I want 2,000 square feet or more, then where it says square feet living area, we're going to place 2,000 plus. All right. And right now we're down to 5 listings. If you don't know where I see the listings, on the lower left corner, it says 5 matches. That means we have 5 available listings with that criteria. All right, so next we have property square footage. If your client says, hey, Rob, I'm looking for at least 8,000 square feet in property lot size, you go to property square feet and you place 8,000 and then you do plus, and that's going to equal to 0 results, of course, right? And what seems to be the issue here? Probably the price, right? So if I remove the price, we're up to 88 matches. All right, so let's see if there's anything under $3 million with that criteria. So let's go 3 million minus, and there's actually 3. Let's not forget, folks, over here underneath additional fields, there are additional fields you're going to want to add to your search criteria. And adding additional fields is pretty simple. You go to add, remove, you click there, search for the additional field that you like to add, and then go ahead and click on add, and that's going to add it to your search criteria page. Once you're done adding your search criteria, click on back, and now you can use your additional search criteria. Some of the search criteria that I recommend that you add automatically is okay to advertise. So when you are looking for listings that you want to advertise, you're going to use that one. There's also one called terms considered, very important. That's the one that you can search for FHA properties, conventional, cash only, all cash. You have type of association, association fee, design description. These are all different criteria that I have added to my search. There's also things like REO for foreclosures, short sale, even pets allowed. So it's very important that when we're looking for condos, that we're able to select whether pets are allowed or not. And that's the field called pets allowed. And then also when you are searching for condos, there's one that I like for you to add called unit view. Unit view allows you to say, all right, we want direct ocean views or intercoastal view, or just simple water views. All right, so once you got your results, you're going to go ahead and click on results, and that leads you to the display that we have here, all right, of your results. Notice it looks like a spreadsheet because it is a spreadsheet. You can move columns around, you can remove columns, you can add columns, all right? I'm not going to move anything. I'm just going to leave it just like this. If you wanted to remove a column, you just click on the column and click on remove column, and that will remove this entire column. If you want to add a column, let's say right here where it says city, I want to add a column. We're going to go here. We're going to click on insert column, and I'm going to put in days on market. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in DOM, and we want to put in CDOM, which is days on market, and click on apply. And that's going to give you the days on market for that property. If you want to move that column to the right, you can. All right, I'm going to place it right here after sold price. So you can add many different features to your spreadsheet. Once done, you want to go here to where it says manage display, and you want to click on save changes. If you want to give it a name, like I've given it a name where it says Robert, you go back to manage display, give it a custom name. So I gave it Robert Agent Single Line, and then I clicked on save changes. All right. So if you want to see the first listing, just click on the MLS number, and this is your listing. But imagine that most of you have already gone through this and seen listings. So just want to give you a brief overview. Right here, we have the photos. You can always click on the photos and see the photos of the property. You also have here the square footage of the property. You have the remarks and the broker remarks. Keep in mind, broker remarks are usually instructions given to you, the realtor. You should not see any type of instructions on the remarks. All right, so here it says property sold as is. Use showing time for showing instructions, lockbox code, and showing time. So once again, they're telling you to use showing time. So what is showing time? There are two places you can find it. You can find it right up here, this little logo, that's showing time. And then you can also find it down here, all right, where it says showing time. By clicking on showing time, you are able to schedule a showing for this property. Click on single showing and then schedule a showing, and the listing agent will be alerted that a request to show the property has been made. They will confirm the request. Usually the property is on electronic lockbox or a combination lockbox. If it is on electronic lockbox, then you will use your super key to open it. If it's on a combination lockbox, then usually in the confirmation email, you will receive the combination for the lockbox. If the property is not on lockbox and an appointment is required, then you will need to wait for the listing agent to approve your appointment. All right, so you guys can scroll through the different listings by clicking on next. If you want to go back to the list of properties, just click on agent single line up here, and that's going to take you back here. If you want to email a property, you can always click on email down below and you can send an email. Now, I highly recommend that you take the extra 30 seconds and create a contact for the person you're sending this to. It's very simple. You click on create a new contact, place their first and last name, place their email address, and then hit save. The reason why you want to do this is because now you've created an account for your contact. Now they have an account where they can save their own listings to the account. If I just type in an email address here and I send it, the recipient will receive the email, but they do not have an account with us in the MLS. So it's very simple. Just go ahead and click on create a new account, place the first and last name and email address and save it. Another tip I like to give you guys, if you're working with a husband and wife or multiple buyers at once, what you want to do for email addresses is you want to enter multiple email addresses separated by a comma. So you can place the husband's email address, then a comma, and then the wife's email address. All right, and then you want to save it. So this is how you email a listing. And if you want to print a listing, you click on print down below and you're going to get the options. There are two pages here I want you guys to pay special attention to. One is the agent full report and the other one is the client full report. If I'm getting ready to show several properties and I want to hand a report to my client, I will print them the client full report. All right, never print the agent full report for your client because the agent full report does contain the listing agent information. So let me show you. I'm going to click on preview. This is the agent full report. And notice the listing agent and their contact information and the commission that is being paid. If I go back to Matrix and I switch it over to the client full and I click on preview, now you will see the same report. However, all the additional information is missing. All right, so this is the report you want to give your client, and that's the client full. Of course, there are other reports here that we will be covering in the advanced training. I just wanted to show you the two reports. You can always email these reports by clicking on email PDF. If you want to include photos in the report, you click on include photos. If you want to include your header, you can include your header and footer. All right, we're going to go ahead and click on back to results, and we're going to go and click on, well, before we leave the listing, guys, if you want to know who owns a particular property, there are three ways to do this. You have the little dollar symbol, that's realist. That allows you to open up the realist program, and it's going to tell you who owns the property. It's going to tell you the taxes they pay on the property and much more. All right, so this is the realist property details. And then next up, we're going to go ahead and click on IMAP. That's the I right there. And that's going to give you another program, pretty much telling you once again who owns the property and the taxes they pay on the property and the history of the property. Another way that you can do this is by clicking on RPR. RPR is a nationwide benefit. We've held classes for RPR before. We will have classes once again. All right, so 3 ways that you can actually find out who owns the property and information on the property. Lastly, I want to go ahead and show you the form simplicity. So if you do have a buyer for this property and you want to write a contract, you want to click on FS. That's going to open form simplicity, allowing you to start a transaction and fill out your contracts for the property. So it goes right away into form simplicity and importing all the information, and then you can start creating a transaction and writing a contract. Most of us use form simplicity. However, if you use dot loop, there is a little dot loop logo all the way to the right. You can also start a transaction through dot loop. And right here we have a attachment. So always pay attention to the little logo for attachments. Is if they are attachments, you want to take a look. Here they're giving you a floor plan, site plan for the property. So whenever there's transactions, you will see, not transactions, sorry. Whenever there's attachments, you will see that little logo. You want to click and you want to see the attachments. Always check on property history by clicking on property history. And you will see here that this property last sold back in 2021 for $1,148,000. And they now activated the listing and they're selling it for $2,100,000. All right, they started at 2,350,000 in May 24th, and in June 22nd, they downgraded the price to $2,100,000. So you can always check the history of the property there by clicking on property history. All right, so if you click on agent single line, if you want to send all 3 via email, go ahead and select all 3, click on email, and you're able to send all 3 via email. If you want to print all 3, once again, you can print it. Now, I want to show you a very cool report that you can do when you're dealing with multiple properties. Look at the multi-role client multi-role report. All right, so if you're getting ready to go show property, you just want to give them a brief summary of the properties. That's a really cool report. We're going to go ahead and click on preview, and here is what you would be giving your client. Once again, guys, make sure you're not doing the agent multi-row, because let's take a look at the agent multi-row. That one does contain the listing agent name, phone number, and email address. Look at the difference between one report and the other. All right, so always give your client the one that says client. Now, this one over here, the 3-up comparison, is a really cool report. It puts all 3 properties together and it allows you to compare them. So here is the 3-up comparison about to show you right here. Side by side, all 3 properties, allowing you to compare each property. This is also a very nice report to give to your client. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on my matrix and pretend that we needed to navigate away and do something else. Let's say we needed to get back to that search we were doing. You see on the right-hand side, recent searches. This keeps track of all of your recent searches, and here they are. All right, so all you need to do is click there, and it's going to get you back to your recent searches. All right, guys, so once again, recent searches will save about 7 days of history or up to 50 different searches. So if you reach 50 searches in a 7-day period, you're only going to see the last 50. All right, so in the last 7 days, if you only do 10 searches, then you will be able to see all 10 searches. Very cool stuff. All right, let's go ahead and go back to search RE1, RE2. This time I want to do a condo search. All right, I'm going to show you different ways that you can search by condos. For condos, we're going to, of course, click on condo here. And if you wanted to search for condos in a particular building, it's very simple. You want to come over here and you want to put in the building address. All right, this building address is 50 Biscayne Boulevard. Notice how I did not type in the word Boulevard. By not typing in the word Boulevard, I've got 14 matches. All right, if I type in BLVD for Boulevard, sometimes it's not going to equal 14 matches. In this case, it did. So we have 14 matches in this building. If you want more buildings, you just go ahead and click on more and then type in more addresses. So this is one way that we can look at all the results in 50 Biscayne Boulevard. Now, if you want to look at only 2-bedroom condos, of course, you want to go back to criteria and you want to put in 2-bedroom condos. Now, let's say that line number 1 is your favorite line, right? I'm going to show you a trick. We're going to go back to criteria. And then where it says unit, we're going to put asterisk 01 asterisk. All right, click on results. And we have now only units that fall in line 1. Line 1 may be your favorite line because it has the best view in the building or your favorite model condo, then you can do that. Okay. Of course, another way would be to equal the square footage of the unit. Right? Not every line has the same size unit. In this case, all 3 units are 1,256. So I could have gone to the square foot space there provided, and I could have typed in 1256, and these 3 units would have popped up. Let's go back to criteria, and I'm going to go ahead and clear on the lower left corner. Once again, let's click on active and let's click on condo. If you are looking for condos and you know the name of the building, then you can always use this over here, complex name. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and enter there, Grove Isle. Watch this. The Grove Isle by itself gives me 5 matches. All right, so there's an issue here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put in an asterisk at the end, and it increases it now to 9 matches. And I'm going to put an asterisk at the beginning of the word Grove Isle. All right, and it stays at 9 matches. So why did I get more results? All right, because when you put an asterisk at the beginning and at the end of the word Grove Isle, it means the complex name contains the names or the words Grove Isle. So it's very important that when you are entering a complex name that you begin and you end the words or the name with asterisks. Like that, it is going to equal the exact number of condos available in that complex. All right, very, very important. Going back to criteria, we're going to go ahead and remove the Grove Isle. And then, of course, if you just wanted to search for condos in any particular area, we're going to go ahead and put in here a price of $1 million or less. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and stick in Miami-Dade County, and we're going to go to South Beach, 33139. So in 33139, there are currently 464 properties for sale under $1 million. If my client needs 2 bedrooms, we're going to go with 2 bedrooms, and they need 2 bathrooms, we're going to go with 2 bathrooms. We're now down to 65. If your client wants waterfront, you're going to click on waterfront. Now we're looking at 36. If they're looking for oceanfront property, then you're going to go to waterfront description. And we're going to click on oceanfront. We're now down to 6. All right, so use your criteria to get exactly what your client is looking for. These are all oceanfront, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms for less than $1 million in zip code 33139. Going back to criteria, guys, if your client says, hey, Robert, I don't want to pay more than $500 a month in HOA fees. All right, so you want to add an additional field called association fee. And you want to put in here 500 or less. We're down to 0. All right, we're down to 0. Every single one of those properties you saw there has more than $500 a month in HOA fees. Let's take a look. I'm going to remove that. Going to go back to results. Going to click on one of those results, and we're going to go down to where the HOA fee is. This one is $653 monthly. All right, so that's important, guys. When someone tells you, I don't want more than 500, 400, 300 HOA, then you want to use that additional field called association fee, and you want to place the top of the budget and then click on minus. All right, so I'm going to go back here to the agent single line and show you how to save a search. So we've got my client, right, looking for a 2-2 in zip code 33139 for under $1 million. We've got 6 results. We're going to click on save. And you have really 2 options here. You have new save search, and you also have new auto email. Now, the one I use is the one that says new auto email because it includes email notifications for your client. New save search is like saving the search for your records only. It's not really going to do anything else. So I use new auto email. We're going to click there. You must select a client. All right, so right here you have all of your clients. If it's a new client, then make sure you click on create a new client. In this case, I'm going to select myself. I'm not really sending this to anybody else, so I'm going to select myself as a client. Let's put in here the 33139 condos under 1 mil. So that's the subject that your client is going to see each and every time they receive an email from you. Now here you have a message, guys. It's a default message typed up for you for your welcome email. You're welcome to change it around if you like. And then there's a recurring email message here. This is each and every time they receive an additional listing via email. This is the message that's going to pop up. Once again, you can save, you can change either one, and you can save it. For salutation, it's going to say, Dear Robert. I'm going to go ahead and click on edit. And you can do Dear Robert, you can do Hello Robert, or you can do Hi Robert. All right, so you can change that around. Your email signature is there already. And then you're going to choose how often you want your client to receive the email. You have 3 options here. You have as soon as possible, which means right away. When a new listing hits the market that fits their criteria, an email will be sent to your client with that listing. You have daily, where you can choose either in the morning or in the afternoon. And then you have monthly, which is once a month. Normally, people will choose as soon as possible. You want your client right away to know of the listings that they have received, right? Now, there is an option, however, you cannot use this option when you're sending it to yourself, and that is concierge mode. So I'm going to go ahead and remove myself and put in my brother, right? This is somebody else. And here you will see enable concierge mode. Enable concierge mode pretty much means I want to receive the listings first, and I want the system to tell me these listings are new, and then I will be the one approving or rejecting the listings. So the difference, of course, is that you become the decision maker when you do concierge mode. You become the decision maker in which listings your client sees and which listings your client does not see. When you go with as soon as possible, daily or monthly, the system automatically sends the listings to your client without your input. All right, there's a question on the chat. Let me go ahead and read that. All right, so yeah, it's very cool. All right, it's not a question, it was a comment. So yes, it is very cool. For those of you that have like very specific clients that need a specific property, you can set up the concierge mode. You will be the one that gets alerted first. Hey, look, there's a new property for your client, Alex. and you're going to view the property, you're going to approve it, or you're going to reject it. So once you do concierge mode and you click on save and go to approvals, it's going to give you now the opportunity to approve any of those listings. All right, you can approve all of them, or you can approve certain, and you can reject certain listings as well. All right, I'm not going to send this to Alex. I'm just going to hit back, and I'm going to actually send it to myself. Now, of course, you cannot concierge yourself because it's yourself, right? There's no need to do a concierge for yourself. I'm going to send it to myself as soon as possible. We're going to click on save. And now we have an auto email created for myself, right? You're going to go up to my matrix. You're going to click on auto email. And here we have auto emails. All right. I'm going to go ahead and delete the one I did for my brother. He's never received the property, right? But I created one either way. So you're going to come over here and we're going to click on delete. Now notice, guys, there's different colors here for my auto emails. So what does that mean? The green circle with the white interior means it's a brand new auto email and it has never been opened. Okay. The green circle with the solid green and the little check mark inside, that means that the auto email is active and it has been opened. Look over here on the right hand side. This auto email was opened last on September 25th. Up here, we have an auto email, all right, where it is set to as soon as possible. And the last portal visit was today at 4:41 in the morning. And then here we have another one, all right, that is active and lastly opened at 8:24 in the morning. So who are my active clients in this moment? Who's actually in there searching for properties? Obviously, we've got two people, right? We've got Carlos and we've got Cecile. These are two active buyers that I have looking at property pretty much on a daily basis. The red ones are disabled listings. These are past clients where, the search produced a property, they closed on a property, or they no longer are interested. And you can always just select a search and then click on disable, and that's going to turn it red. Red means they no longer will receive emails from you. Okay. What I recommend, guys, when you get leads, right? When you get leads, and let's say it's a rental lead and you spoke to the prospect and they tell you, yes, Robert, I'm looking to rent in South Beach. You want to create a search for them using the criteria they're looking for. You want to save it as an auto email and you want to plug it in as soon as possible so they can start receiving properties daily as soon as possible until you can find them a property to rent. So that's a recommendation I definitely have for you. If you want to give your customer, your client, a personal approach where every day you're going to log into the MLS and every day you're going to search for properties for them, then that's fine too. Right? But if you are busy throughout the day and you want the MLS to pretty much be your assistant and do the work for you, I highly recommend doing the auto email. You can always check on the auto email. So if I come over here and I click on this auto email, I can click and see the results. I can sort, see here, emails. I can sort by the day that it was emailed. So there were 3 properties emailed to my client today, October 3rd. There were several properties emailed on October 1st. And then as you can see, other different dates. I'm going to open a different one here and I'm going to show you. Let me go back. Let me open this one over here and let me open the results. I want you guys to notice what's going on here. All right. The client has actually logged in and marked which ones she likes. And she's also marked which ones she does not like. So the heart means she liked this property. I can go and I can check the property. So the heart says she liked this property. Of course, she likes the views, right? She likes how clean it is on the inside. And at some point, she's going to tell me, hey, Robert, I'd like to go see this property. Now, this trash can here means she didn't like the property. So let's go here and let's see what she doesn't like about the property. Well, we really don't know what she likes or doesn't like because there's only 4 photos, but she does not like this property. All right. So again, you can see what your client is doing inside of the auto email. All right, if you guys are curious as to what the auto email looks like for your client, we're going to go back to my matrix auto email and we're going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to open once again here. And you see where it says open in one home? All right, when your client receives the email and they click on one home, this is what they see. They're going to always see your picture on the lower right corner with your information. All right, they're always going to see a map here where the properties are located, and they're going to see the properties over here. When they click on the listing itself, they're going to open the listing, and what they see is a client-friendly view, meaning they're never going to see the listing agent. They're never going to see anyone else but you. You are the person they see at all times. All right. You want to train your client to identify which properties they like. You want to tell them, hey, there's going to be properties there where you're able to mark as favorites. So you see here, you're able to add a note and you're able to mark properties as favorites. You could click on the little star and you can mark the property as a favorite. So train your client to help you identify which properties they like and which ones they don't like. Also, by the way, they can begin their own search too. They can go to buy rent, they can go to new search, and they can start a new search of properties in the portal. All of this is provided by a one home portal, which is the portal that is used by the MLS. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that out. Once again, if you're done working with your client, you want to disable it by clicking on disable. Disabling it, it's going to pretty much turn it red. All right, let's close this here. It's going to turn it red and the emails will stop. All right. If you want to enable it, once again, you click on it, you click on settings, and you will be able to enable down here where it says settings, enable, and you activate the search once again. So these are different ways that we are going to be working with our customers or our clients inside of Matrix. All right, I'm going to move on to one last search before we end the basic class, because this is pretty much a basic training where you can get started using the MLS, and that is if you're looking to rent properties. All right, we're going to go to search. We're going to go to RNT. All right, so here we have active once again. We have the type of property. We have waterfront, we have swimming pool, we have all the different criteria. Now, also remember when you are renting in a condo and they ask you for different amenities, you have amenities here that you can choose. Guys, the additional fields is a little different for rentals. Of course, you want to add pets allowed, but you also want to add furnished info. Many people would like to rent property that is furnished, so you want to add furnished info. You also want to add minimum lease period. So what's the minimum days the property can be leased? You also want to add, very important, move-in dollars. Sometimes they tell you, hey, I only want to pay first month and deposit, and I don't want to pay first, last, and deposit. So you want to add here move-in dollars and do your additional move-in dollars, put in a max budget. The additional moving cost also allows you to just say additional moving costs, yes or no, and it's gonna, give you the results. Otherwise, rentals is pretty much the same. There is no thousands over here anymore in price. So if you put in here $4,000 or less, all right, that equals, of course, to 4,000 or less. We're looking to rent a condo in zip code 33130. All right, there's currently 180 matches. We're looking to rent a condo that's 3 bedrooms. All right, nothing. 2 bedrooms. I'm left with 56 matches. All right, come over here, and we have all of these condos available in 33130 for less than $4,000. All right, guys, do you have any questions in what we covered today? All right, next week, the advanced training will get more advanced. We will go into map searching. We will go into comparables. We will go into certain statistical information that you can find in the MLS. Thank you very much for joining us for today's training. We'll see you all next week for our advanced training. Have a great day, everyone.